Hey, Jack Squad, how's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you're making it happen for yourself. Gotta make it happen for yourself, guys. Um, Before we get started, don't forget to drop down in the description box and like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I need you all to share. Trying to reach out to a broader base and increase my subscribers. So share, right? So today, y'all, this been weighing heavy on me, right? And as you know, I am writing a book. It may take me a long time because I got a lot of stuff on my plate right now. But there's a large portion of the book in regards to my last relationship, which was the longest relationship I ever had. And you know, prior to the Derek Jackson, I had a couple girlfriends who would discuss with me their boyfriends who were narcissistic. And initially a few years ago when I first started hearing this, I was like, maybe he just arrogant, maybe he just whatever, right? But I have been doing research and looking up the word and looking up narcissistic personality disorder. See, I didn't even know it was a disorder, right? I just thought you're a narcissist, you're arrogant, think highly of yourself. Didn't really read too much into it, right? Now, I spent over 10 years with a man who, after a few years, I thought he was just maybe a sociopath, right? But now, after reading everything and watching certain people, and like I said, reading certain things, I have come to realize that he was a narcissist, right? And I've had a conversation with some people that are very close to me and that have had relationships with those type of men. And I'm trying, to me now, it's like a phenomenon. Has this always went on? And I'm only talking about black men. I don't know anything about any other man. I'm talking about black men. Like, where did this come from? Where did this start? And it's very concerning to me because it's a thing. It's a real thing, right? And I remember maybe 25 years ago, I had told my mother, and she was like, why you don't keep a man, why you don't stay in relationships, so on and so forth. And it was because that they weren't, you can like somebody initially, and then you get to know them, you're like, oh, no, right? Because I'm a very free thinker, independent type woman, right? I want a man, I need a man, I love a man, but I can't be controlled. I am submissive, but I cannot be controlled. And there's a lot of things that go to that. A person has to allow you to be you, right? So, I was with this person. And the reason why I'm talking about this because it's way heavy. And I was going to talk about it a few days ago, but I had to get my thoughts together on it because I'm still in a healing place. I just really thought about this the other day. Where I thought that I was healed from this situation, maybe I'm not. I'm almost there. I would probably say 85%, 90%, but maybe I'm not, right? Because there are times where I get emotional with myself as to what could have been or what should have been or what I thought it was going to be, right? That's better, what I thought it was going to be. And I wasted a lot of time. Now, if you were to talk to my friends and family, they would say, oh, no, it's not a waste. And look at all what you got and what you learned from it and all of that. Yeah, I did. It's something about my hair that I'm not liking. Okay. So, you can say that, but I'm a firm believer in not wasting my time. Now, true enough, you go through life and you learn and you don't know that it's a mistake till the mistake is made, right? But at this stage in my life, when I met him, I was ready to be settled down. And him being older than me, I assumed he was too. Now, I'm going to tell you the difference between then and now. Now, when I meet guys, I have thorough conversations. Before, you like me, I like you, we're going to go out, you're going to do stuff for me, now that we together. That's dumb, right? You got to get to know somebody, or attempt to get to know, have a get to know process. Don't just automatically claim somebody and you don't really know them, right? And because men can be very charming. And the charm is what takes you. We're females, we're girls. So, the charm is what gets you, right? And, I was charmed, right? He did all the things you want a guy to do, right? Now, before I get started, I went too far. I want to shout out my subscribers because this is something that's really a little bit emotional for me, right? Anyway, my subscribers today are Gemini Rain, Jay Lady, and Melinda Carter. So that's Gemini Rain, Jay Lady, and Melinda Carter. Now, guys, so I'm going to talk about this because I keep seeing, I have chosen purposefully not to talk about the gentleman, Kevin Samuels, right? I thought a few days before I talked about Derrick Jackson, because I have some really strong opinions. And I don't really want to put it out there like that. I don't really want to put it out there like that. But I do. But in the wake of what's going on, I feel that I must share my story, right? Because, sometimes people think they're the only one in something, or they feel ashamed that something happened to them. But we're all human, and we're all in this together, right? If you allow people in. And so I said, after thinking for 3 or 4 or 5 days, I said, okay, I'm going to share my story. So this is a story time, and this is my story. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I'm going to share that in my book. I've lived a hell of a life, y'all, right? And I've been survived by God's grace and mercy, right? And I've been through things that would normally break the average person down, right? Not saying I haven't been broken, but I just always got back up, right? This person was very charming. And like I said, I didn't even notice anything wrong for maybe 3 or 4 years. I can't kind of put a time frame on when I noticed, but I didn't notice. But I'm going to tell you this. A red flag went off, and this is what I used to do that I see now very clearly. When I see the red flag, I fall all the way back. I may question the person I'm talking to about it. If I don't get the right response, I end it, right? That is why I'm single, because I see the red flags now. I pay attention. We always see them, but you don't pay attention. You think, no big deal, but it is a big deal, right? It is a big deal. I was talking to a gentleman just recently, and he appeared to be a nice guy, responsible. He had a son, which I don't particularly want to date anyone with a young child because I'm past that. I'm on the grandkids now, not kids. But at any rate, he was taking care of his mom and all that, a lot of responsibility. So he was responsible, which I like, a responsible man. And I can't remember what it was about, but he called me out my name. And I could not get past it. Like, first of all, you don't even know me. And he said, well, I was just saying you act like that. No. And I could not get past that. Even though he apologized, the more I thought about it, the more, and I'm trying to be a better person. Because, just a few years ago, I would cuss you out repeatedly, right? But I don't even want that type of energy on me. I just want to live a relaxed, peaceful life, right? So if you call me out my name and you don't know me because you got upset and you don't even know me, what you gonna call me when you know me? So I was like, but again, the red flag. So back to what I was saying. I remember it wasn't even 90 days and I saw the red flag. I asked him a question and he answered it honestly. And I was so enamored with him. First of all, he was very free with his money. There was nothing, this is what got me, this is what kept me. And money is the root of all evil, right? Whatever I wanted from the very beginning, whatever I wanted, he would give me, whatever. He would say, okay, give me a time frame, give me this long and you'll have it, right? Whatever. If I had said I want an elephant, he'd have been calling me on the phone like, babe, I got the elephant, I can't make it, come help me. It was whatever. I never, ever, ever wanted for anything, right? And being a single parent, not having parents growing up and struggling as a child and struggling as a young mother, He gave me financial stability. Okay? So I didn't look beyond the financial stability. I should have, but I didn't. I didn't look beyond that. I saw financial stability. He looked good. We went out. And, when I think back on it, all the things that we were doing in the beginning, he didn't really want to do that. He was just doing it because I wanted to do that, right? And he turned into a narcissistic monster. Now, he never put his hands on me, and I never felt threatened or nothing like that. No. But it was the mental anguish that he caused me, right? Purposefully. And I remember a lot of times we would go somewhere and he would think it was about him. And I remember somebody said, we were out one day and somebody said, oh, those are some nice shoes. And I know they were talking to me because they were looking at me. He said, oh, thank you so much, right? He was very about him. And he never, ever said, and we were together over 10 years, he never, ever once said to me, you look good. Oh, you look nice, babe. What he would say was, I see you. I see you, right? Now, there's a lot of things that happened in this relationship that when I look back on it, I should have stopped it. Shit, it shouldn't even went 90 days. It shouldn't even went 6 months, right? But because of the stability, and I had a child left in the household who was still in high school, who eventually went off to college, and this man helped me buy a home and become stable, financially stable, right? So there was a lot of things that I wanted that I put ahead of love. I wasn't even thinking of love. I just wasn't thinking of love, right? I just thought, okay, I like him, he like me. I'm in love now at this point, and it's going to be all right. But it never got all right. I never could do enough. That young lady, let me tell y'all something. That young lady, Derek Jackson's wife, if y'all read what she's saying or listen to what she's saying, and she tried to be like this person, she tried to be like that person, she was trying to be all the things she thought he liked, she will never satisfy him. I have found that out about narcissists because I tried. Not knowing he's a narcissist, after a few years, maybe 4 or 5, I said, this dude is a sociopath because he had no empathy. And, I'm going to go into details in my book, but he had no empathy. And that was the main thing. He had no empathy, right? And it seems like he got a thrill when I was out of whack. You know what I'm saying? He liked for me to be out of whack. He liked that, right? So after a few years, when I realized what was going on, still not knowing he's a narcissist, I'm just thinking he's a sociopath of some sort, right? And because it wasn't about things or money or anything. I got everything that I wanted. Anything, right? Trips. But what he would do is, a lot of times he would sponsor me to go. He wouldn't go with me. Whatever it was I wanted to do, right? I didn't care because I'm doing me. It came to a point where we were living 2 separate lives in the same house, right? And I actually got over the relationship while we were in the same house. I went through all the steps of somebody dying, grief, denial, anger. I went through all of those steps. He was still in the house. So by the time he actually left, I was good, or so I thought. So then I needed to heal, right? I went to myself and needed to heal. And like I said, I think that I'm healed, even though we have not been together 4 years and I've not been in a relationship. I've dated a couple guys, seriously, that wasn't going to turn out to nothing. But from time to time, I think about and get sad about what could have been, right? And I'm just saying, ladies, if you meet someone and it's all about him and you feel like, see, love is not manipulation. Narcissistic men are manipulators. They're master manipulators. Love is not manipulation, right? Love is free, okay? And love don't hurt. I don't care what nobody tell you. Love don't hurt. And if you're with a man and he tries to make you feel good about the hurt that he put on you, get away from him. You know what I'm saying? And as I watched that young lady, I've heard a lot of commentary about it, but I'm speaking from a woman who's been in that position. what she's trying to do, because she's a Christian girl, I get all that. She's trying to make it work because that's what she's been taught to do. See, and a lot of times religion can be misplaced in your life, right? And especially if you're in the wrong I don't even want to say wrong, but if you're not in a religion that's being truthful to you, right? Because you're going to need that to get away from that type of person and get them thoughts out your head. Because what a narcissist will do is, if you allow, will have you thinking that you're less than who you are, because they need to feel greater than you. And 9 times out of 10, you're greater than them, but they need to feel greater than you, and that's where the control comes from. And I remember telling my guy, once I realized what was going on, I said, a lesser woman, you'd have her self-esteem. She wouldn't have any. She wouldn't have any. But because I knew who I was, and I remember one time he had hurt me for no reason. He would do it for no reason, mentally. And I remember going to my mother's job and crying. And I didn't get the result that I wanted to get. I wanted her to wrap her arms around me and say whatever you're supposed to say. And she said, you let him take your power. Now, at that moment, I didn't understand that. I didn't want to hear that. That's why I didn't understand it, because I didn't want to hear it. And I left feeling defeated from him and her. But as I thought about it, I understood. And from that point on, I regained my power. And once I regained my power, because, my world circulated around him. Even though I had a life, I got plenty of friends, I got plenty of things to do, plenty of stuff to do I was involved in. But still, all in all, my life revolved around him, right? And I felt like, I've seen this movies and stuff where white women say, I don't know what to do, when he's gone. I felt like that. I was like, oh no, Jacquie, you way better than that. Get your shit together, right? But that was the truth. My life had revolved around him. And, my life didn't. You see how I want to put this. My life revolved around him, but his life did not revolve around me. His life revolved around him. He did exactly what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, no care to who it affected. And that is a narcissist. Now, since the other day, I looked up narcissist and sociopath, because my daughter was like, well, narcissism is a form of being a sociopath, right? And the difference between a narcissist and a sociopath, I want to get it right, I should have wrote it down, is that neither one of them show empathy, but narcissists thrive on, they're not going to really hurt you physically, but they thrive on controlling you, whereas a sociopath doesn't. They do stuff for their own gain, right? I think I got that right. I don't know. You got to look that up. But there's a slight difference between a narcissist and a sociopath, right? Because I remember I told my sister years ago, I was like, he's a sociopath. And because he portrayed himself to be one way in front of friends and family, but he had a very dark, evil side that probably only I saw, right? And, nobody would believe it because he was such a quirky, fun-loving guy. Nobody saw that, right? Nobody saw that. And so I think that it is very dangerous, even if he's not physical to you. Mental abuse is horrible because it takes years to unravel from that. That's my opinion. It takes years to unravel from that, right? And I feel for the lady, Miss Jackson. I feel for her because she's caught up in something. She's young. See, when you're young like that, I was older, so I knew how to maneuver and get back on track, right? But, and it didn't go so far. Because like I said, he was so charming and so, money was never an object, but he used it to keep me so that he could manipulate and monopolize me to suit him, right? Instead of just taking me for who I am and we being a true team, a true partnership. And what really got me is whenever we would get, like I said, money was never an issue. And whatever project we was on, whatever we was doing, it would go good at first and then he would do something to mess it up. And I just could not understand that. I could not understand that. If we went out and was having a good time, or I was having a good time, thought he was having a good time, he would mess it up if it didn't revolve around him. So it was like, I now know that he's a narcissist, and I keep reading up on it, and to think that I spent over 10 years with him, and I feel like I wasted my time, right? But now I know, and I'm saying this to all ladies, Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the red flags. I don't care if it's day 2, day 3, day 30, day 40. There are signs of the true definition of who a person is. You'll see the signs, right? You can't hide it. People cannot hide who they are. And I can guarantee you, after about 90 days, you will see it. Anything you do in life, give it 90 days. I don't care what it is. That's why you think when you get a job, they say we got a 90-day probation period, because 90 days is the time. You'll see who they are, right? And I saw it. But my greed and my lust for money and things, I put blinders on, right? And it was he was very, very, very emotionally cruel. Right? For no reason. And like I said, I'm going to explain, because that was a big part of my life. And he did things, that were not right. And, the thing is, like, since I've been down here, he calls a call. I had to end up blocking him, because I came to my mind and said, there's no need for us to talk. We don't need to be friends. I gave you 10 years of my life. We don't need to be friends. And I just believe that when someone has hurt you, especially a narcissistic man, they can't, he's older, so he's probably not as into it. But somebody in his 30s like Derrick Jackson, they don't like to be losers. They don't like to lose control over you, right? So once they lose control over you, they'll spiral a little bit. Just like you see on Love and Marriage Huntsville. They like to keep the control. Once they lose the control, they can't handle it, right? And me being older, I was able to gracefully get out of that situation and get my power back and keep it, right? And I reversed it. But at any rate, y'all, narcissism is a thing. It is a thing. And like I said, I didn't even know it was a disorder. It's called Narcissistic Personality Disorder. So I'm saying this for all ladies, and I don't want men to think I'm bashing. I'm just sharing my story because I spent over 10 years with somebody like that. And like I said, had I been not as strong as I am, had I been a weaker woman or a lesser woman, he'd have totally broke me down. Totally broke me down. Now, like I said, I had periods, not even periods, maybe a few days at a time, where I would be so assaulted in my spirit, right? And then, I'd come out of that. But narcissist is very dangerous to your spirit, very dangerous to your soul, very dangerous to your psyche. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have a strong faith or belief in something, it can really tear you down. Or in the wrong thing, such as Miss Jackson. That's the wrong, that little group there, I don't think it's healthy for her. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that, because it was on me over the weekend, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to tell it. I didn't go into detail because I'm going to put that in my book, because there are a lot of things that went on. And I remember when I told my sister a few things, they liked him. They loved him, right? Because of the way that he portrayed to be. And once I told her just a few things, she didn't like him, but I kept that to myself. I keep a lot of things to myself. I've always been the person that help other people, with whatever their problems is, pray, cry, fight, whatever we're going to do. But I kept this to myself. For years and years and years and years, right? And just appeared when I was around him to be like everything's all right. His family thought everything was all right. My family thought everything was all right. When in actuality, it wasn't. And, there was a time, I just thought about this, when I was with his family and he showed out, right? We'll talk about that in my book. But anyway, y'all, stay away from them narcissistic men. When you see the signs, when you feel the manipulation, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to walk away. I'm just telling y'all that. It's okay. But anyway, let me talk about my subscribers again. It's Jiminy Rain, Jay Lady, and Melinda Carter. And again, guys, drop down in the description box and like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I need y'all to share, right? I'm trying to reach a goal for my subscribers. Trying to reach a broader audience. So I appreciate you, Jack Squad. Everybody have a wonderful day. And be safe. And remember, Black Lives Matter, okay? Bye-bye.